Well, what a treat it is to be here, Tom.
Likewise.
This is Tom Sanderson to my right. I'm Mark Bishop. We're from Summit Property Group. Folks, we want to talk to you today about
Codes of conduct, codes of value that an organization creates from the top, and how we try to pull those down to our team members, to our franchisees, and subsequently to our customer.
Correct. So I think it starts with values. And so as we say, here are our values, here's what we value most, then that hopefully influences the conduct of the people that are around us.
I agree. Some of our code of values came from those we work with.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just Mark, it wasn't just Tom, locked up in a room going, this is what we're looking for. This information, this structure that we have in place, we had great participation, from our employees.
Well, and from life in general. I mean,
Exactly.
This is not our first rodeo, and we've been down the road before. Bottom line
I have
is,
been bucked off a few times.
I know, and stomped.
I'll tell you about the wild horse race someday.
All right, exactly. I think I was in that. Anyway, I guess one of our first values, Tom, would be just have respect for people. And move forward. And it doesn't matter who they are. If it's a waitress at a restaurant, if it's the UPS driver that's coming to deliver a parcel to the office, we can be happy and cheerful and hopefully make their day a better day.
Absolutely. And, and I think to bring that even closer to home, Mark, is not just to have respect for you, but to have respect for everybody throughout the organization.
Right.
There was a time I was picking up garbage, and of course I respected myself. but it doesn't matter where you are in the organization. Respect is level.
Tom,
it doesn't change. It shouldn't.
Indeed. You still take out the garbage. I mean, we still are not above that. Just keeping things tidy and clean is part of work. It's part of living. And so and that's really what we're talking about here. What are our values? Do we have integrity?
And what does that mean to you, Mark?
Integrity?
Yes.
But you know what, Tom? I think what that means is we say what we do, and then we do what we say, and then we're able to prove it. And I think on a business level, that's really what that integrity is about.
I agree. Talk the talk and walk the walk.
Indeed.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it.
How does that tie into our customer relationships? Or does it?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Let me share with you something that I saw a year or so ago. Tom and I were at the office. We were visiting with somebody out of town, and Tom took a telephone call from somebody he didn't know. He didn't know who it was, but it was somebody that called. He said, I think I need to take this. He took the call, and it was a social worker. And the social worker said, Tom, we've got a situation in Calgary Housing. She explained the situation and said, these girls need to move and they don't have much money. And Tom said, well, this isn't about money. This is about making things right for them. Happy to do it. And she said, well, how much is it going to cost? He said, no, you don't understand. This is not about money. There is no cost. We'll send a crew down there, help them move, and get this done. I think that is some of the things that happen. And Tom has never told anybody this story. I have, because I saw it, and that actually is.
You don't use the customer's name, do you?
I don't know the customer's name.
We might have to edit that out here.
It's a good idea that we don't use the actual customer's name.
For probably 10 years.
Right.
And today I can't remember the name. Forgive me.
No.
And if you're listening, forgive me. I just can't remember the name because it was 10 years ago. I probably had interaction with that young lady.
Right.
But that's not what was important.
But you do what's right. You have that integrity to do what's right at all times.
We serve our community.
We
should serve our partners, our franchisee partners, and all of our employee group,
Without
all
a
those
doubt.
team members.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
And so our code of values are written.
Right.
Our code of conduct is written.
Ta-da.
Values are somewhat open-ended. They're like a mission statement. The code of conduct is written as well, and it's a little more precise.
Mm-hmm.
How we want to be seen by our customers, how we want to treat our customers, how we want to treat one another, what our obligations are.
Right.
We're really trying to have our employees emulate, our goals,
Our values.
our values.
Yeah.
Right?
Using their own personalities, using their own styles, that kind of thing. That we don't need to clone you or I, but what we need to do is pass on the principles, the ideas, the values to others so that they can bring their own personalities in and serve in that fashion. That's what we're looking for.
So when we're working with prospective franchisees that come visit with us, a little different from how other franchisors do their business, we always invite the the individual interested in the franchise to come visit with us first, very early on in the stage of our steps.
Yes.
That process has served so well, because we're able to go through our values. We're able to determine if our values are aligned. We're able to talk about codes of conduct. Are they reasonable to the individuals that we want to work with?
Right.
And
do they like us? Do we like them? And can we actually enjoy this process? And those let's not call them interviews. Let's just call those meetings.
They're meetings, yeah.
Oh man, they're fun.
They're get to know you meetings.
Yeah, they're get to know you meetings. A lot of laughter.
Yeah, we get complaints, from the office because they wonder what we're doing, because sometimes we're laughing a little too hard. But it's an important part of trying to develop a relationship and trying to get to know somebody. And I think we follow our code of values. As we're doing those meetings, I don't think we're aware of it, Mark. But I hear so many things come out of you that are just in line, with our organizational values.
Who we are.
There was an individual that said, was it Zig Ziglar?
Yeah. It was Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar, we're dating ourselves. Look it up. You'll find it. There's not many people named Zig Ziglar. No. So I'm sure he's on the internet.
I don't think his books are available anymore.
No, you'll have to go to a used bookstore. So, but Zig Ziglar said this. He said, you can have anything in the world you want as long as you give enough people what they want first. Others first.
And I know he wrote that, or at least I believe he wrote that, because I read that book years and years ago, talking about how to work with a customer, how to get that sale, specifically, I think was what he was talking about.
And so with our customers.
But I think it's different. If you think of what you just said and apply it to a code of values with employees, with franchisees, with all the individuals you work with your customers.
The concept
the end
is
in mind always will,
and the end in mind is make somebody else, give them what they need and what they want, and that's the service aspect.
I didn't mean to interject, but vision. How do we have those within our organization specifically capture our vision?
We share it, we write it down, we let people know. Visions can be modified and shifted. And so,
can they be borrowed?
Sure, absolutely. And so that vision is important, that we share that vision and we share it with enough enthusiasm that it gives that vision power. In fact, maybe it's the other way around, actually. Maybe a lofty, attainable, realistic vision creates enthusiasm and it supports that vision. So
I think you're accurate. I think that's absolutely true. Seen it in my own life. and it applies.
If you get excited about something and you believe that you can make that happen, I think that that's pretty important. The other thing is that I think that there's a certain amount of discipline that's required in business to continue even when it's tough. The tough conversation, the difficult day, rejection.
And you can't do that without vision.
Right.
And if your vision is built around a code of values,
right,
then it works. Don't you think?
It's done. Yeah. And
we have more to speak on about this. I'd like to share more. I think it's an important topic, and we can't cover it in 10 minutes.
No, we can't.
But I appreciate the conversation. Always your message is greatly respected.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
And I so enjoy visiting and chatting with you. So thank you for your time today. And I appreciate your time today as well. Those of you that have taken a few minutes to watch this segment, we look forward to speaking with you real soon. Send in your questions, call us. We're happy to speak to any individual that reaches out, and
for sure,
we'll make time.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.